amazing thing about our planet, the Earth, is that no matter how far we dig, no matter how deep we go, we continue to find more dead shit. It doesn't matter. We could dig forever. And at some point, we would find, oh, this is new dead shit that we didn't know existed. And the Wii is a lot like that. The Wii and the Earth have that in common. You think you know all the dead shit that there is on the Wii. But then all of a sudden you dig down and you turn a corner and there it is. There's CID the Dummy. This is a game about a crash test dummy, which I can actually empathize with because I feel like that's what I've become. I feel like I'm no longer a guy. And so at least initially I felt like I can relate to this guy. I know what he's going through because in the deepest and darkest recesses of my mind, it basically just looks like CID the Dummy. Only instead of the dummy, it's me that's being in this, I'm stuck in this blurry world where all the color is dead and smeared around like a murderer who's just taken, he's reveling in the kill. And he's taunting the police. And he wants everyone to know he did it. He wants to be caught because he's a sick person and he needs help. But he doesn't know how to ask for help because he never had a mother who loved him. The first 9 minutes of this game, the first 9 minutes was all cutscenes. It was 9 minutes of movies to set up the motivation of a talking crash dummy in a terrible Wii game. You know, people, they throw around terms like unbelievable. I do it, I'm guilty. But these 9 minutes, these cutscenes were unbelievable. And then when they were finally over, I felt like, oh, this is a good thing because now, look, I'd rather just do the terrible Wii game. At least then I'll feel comfortable because I was anything but comfortable watching these unbelievable cutscenes. But now I'm back to just terrible gameplay. Now I can relate. At least I'm comfortable here. This is my element. At least I'm in my natural, miserable element. Only then it teaches me, look, it tries to show you how to play. And this is how you have to play this game. This does one thing, and this does something else, and this does something. Look at the goddamn guy. The goddamn guy is trying to teach me how to do it. But as soon as I see that, my first thought is, okay, you're showing me this, but what I need to show you, what I'd like to express to you is this. This is what I would like to express to you. It's a 2.5D platformer where everything is controlled by motion. And not the good motion, because there was good motion. Wii Sports was good motion. Metroid Prime 3, when I had to use my grapple beam by throwing the nunchuck, which I can't get right now because it's tightly wrapped around my esophagus, that was good motion. This is like a tornado. A tornado's not good motion because a tornado, it destroys people's homes and their dreams, and sometimes it literally kills people. And I feel like this is not that far away from that. Obviously, you know, tornadoes are bad, but at least we live in a world with Helen Hunt. There's no Helen Hunt for CID the Dummy. So it's one of the worst platformers that I've ever had to. It's really a terrible thing that exists. And it's not even just the gameplay. And let me tell you something, the gameplay is bad. Like all these motion controls, half of them barely work. Like to pull out your gun, you have to grab the Wii remote, you have to hold down the A button, then you have to pull it, you have to put it behind your back like you're a Ghostbuster. Then you have to pull it out and shake it and phrasing, and it never works. And then the levels are they're so goddamn long, it's unbelievable. It's almost like this game is just taking everything that Einstein ever worked for in his life and it's just raking it into a pile and setting it on fire, and then also taking just a large, disgusting poop on it and watching, and then the smell of that fecal matter just burning and going into the ozone is also expediting the warming process. And now there are people who they're already hungry for food, and now their entire climate is getting even worse, and it's due in large part to Sid the Dummy. And you know, I don't know who came up with these characters. I don't know who invented Sid the Dummy. But I have to wonder what their ultimate goal was, because usually when you see an IP, the point is intellectual property. It's not impale myself with a pogo stick. You know, I don't even think Metal Gear Solid starts off with 9-minute cutscenes. I mean, this is like Metal Gear Runny. This is like Metal Gear Diarrhea. It almost sounds like there was a fight while they were recording this game, and then, you know, the person writing all this god-awful nonsense got into a verbal altercation with these horribly unskilled and unprofessional voice actors, and then there was a fight, and someone got body slammed through the computer, which would explain why the game looks the way it does. But then, you know, since they were bleeding and tensions were obviously very high, they decided to kind of just phone it in. And since the guy who wrote this is obviously a dummy himself, he couldn't tell. And so he thought they were killing it. He was like, afterwards, he was like, you know, I'm glad we were able to set aside our differences and you were able to go in there and be a professional and really knock those voices out of the park. Also, I think you should probably go to a hospital. You are bleeding out of your eardrum. You know, I have a hard enough time as it is with the concept of aging and getting older, and because ultimately that leads to death. And I feel like all that I'm doing every day is just dying. I'm getting one step closer to death. And that bothers me mostly because I'm a really awesome person, and, you know, like, the world is a dark enough place as it is. Can you imagine what it would be like without me? I am a beacon of joy and hope and optimism and light. In a world that is really needs a lot of that, I provide a pretty sizable amount of it. But with this game, it's like I'm watching my light slowly dim. I'm wasting so much time of my life where I could be helping others. And all I have to do is be myself. That's the great thing about me, is all I have to do is walk around and smile. All I have to do is be me. And I'm instantly making the world a better place, a happier place. But Sid the Dummy is robbing me of that opportunity. At least 9 minutes of it, at the very least. And it's robbing all of you of that opportunity as well, to receive my light and to see in me what your life could one day be, but probably won't, because frankly, my hair is unbelievable. Sid the Dummy. Sid the Dummy. He's tired of crashing into things. Tired of crashing into what? At least he feels something. At least when his head slams into that brick wall and his neck snaps back and breaks in 17 different places, at least he feels something. I haven't felt anything in like an hour and a half.
You can now use